Well, if y'all gonna do it, then do it. If y'all gonna scream, then let's scream. If we're going, let's get it. Let's try it again. There we go. There we go. How you guys doing? You guys good? You guys good? Y'all know I always ask y'all that 2 times, so let's just make sure we get that straight. Look, it's an honor for me to be up here tonight, being able to share and beginning to close out this series that we've been talking about in Connect. It's truly an honor. But before I get started, I got a quick question for you guys. Do I have any social media folks out in the audience? Yeah. Come on, let's be real about it. We got any social media folks out in the audience? Is that it? Is that it? Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to give everybody an opportunity to get involved in what we're about to do real quick. So here it is. It's an even playing field. Everybody get your phones out. If you're in the social media world, everybody get your phones out. Check this out. If you are not currently following at This Is Sub30, the very first person to follow at This Is Sub30 on Twitter, we have an amazing gift for you at the end of the service. You don't want to miss it. All right, we're going to give you a couple seconds to do that. You see it on the screens, at This Is Sub30, first person to follow. And don't try to unfollow us and follow us real quick, because we already got you tagged. It's too late. But for those of you who already are following us, we got you covered too. So this is what we're going to do. The first person, y'all with me? The first person to tweet and tag at This Is Sub30 in your tweet, but you have to hashtag the word connect in it, we got an amazing gift for you at the end of service. You guys working? You guys with me? All right, and then here's the last one. Here's the last one. This is for my Instagrammers out there. This is for my Instagrammers. The first person that can take a picture of me on stage right now, and hashtag connect, and it. Chocolate Thunder works as well. We will accept Chocolate Thunder. The first person to take a picture and tag at This Is Sub30 and hashtag connect in it, we'll have a special gift for you. So I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity to get the picture. I'm gonna pose for it. Yeah, give us a good one. My model pose, and then of course my favorite. All right. So at the end of the service, Pastor Clay's going to come up, let you guys know who the winners are, and we have some really cool gifts for you guys. And the whole idea about what we want to do is really create community, even in the social network world. It's going to be a really great opportunity for you guys to stay connected to what we have going on here at Sub30. See, I'm not sure. I see a lot of people didn't raise their hands when it came to the social media thing. That was me as well. Like I'm one of those guys who was slow on the bus on that regard. Like I really didn't quite get into the whole social media phenomenon, quite honestly. But as I started to try to stay more in tune, and basically I got it just so I could spy on my kids, if I could be honest with you. You just don't know what they're doing. So I said, okay, let me hop on this thing and see what they're doing. So I'm on there, so I don't do a whole lot on there, but most of the stuff I do is typically just all family oriented. So let me show you a quick picture of me and my wife. I post typically stuff like this. That's me and my beautiful bride. That's me and my beautiful bride. We were on vacation. Girl, you look good on the 60-foot screen. You look good. It was hot though. You look shiny. So greasy. That's the type of stuff I typically will post on my stuff. Also, I normally post pictures of my daughter. She loves to take pictures. That's my beautiful daughter, Danira. You can see that she's definitely not camera shy at all. So I normally will post things like that show her. And then I got my 2 boys. And so I normally will post things that with them as well. Can we show that video clip real quick? That was their Michael Jackson rendition, so you want to be starting something. And I was on vacation when I got that, and that really blessed my soul so much. But you know, the one thing wow, Caleb, your head looks huge. Can we please take that down immediately? The one thing that I posted on social media that I got the biggest response from, like people were just like responding to it nonstop, is when I took a picture with my good friend Thomas. Me and Thomas go way back. We're real tight. Can y'all go ahead and put the picture up of me and Thomas? That's my main man of Thomas. You guys know him as T.D. Jakes, probably one of the best preachers in the modern era, but to me, we're on first name basis. That's my main man, Thomas. We were passing through, and he stopped me and said, "Look, anointed man of God, would you mind taking a picture with me?" I stopped and I took a picture with the bishop and I said, look, man, you know what? God's going to use you. Just keep doing what you're doing. God has a plan for your life. He does love you, man. Don't get discouraged. I gave him some tips on his messages, and so I think that it's really working out for him. I gave him the whole Mega Fest idea, so it's y'all keep praying for Bishop T.D. Jakes. But I got the most responses from that particular picture, and I was looking at some of the responses that I got, and I got one response from one of my friends. Y'all can take it down. I got one response from one of my friends who had said, "You are highly favored and blessed by the Lord of hosts. I'm so grateful that God has blessed you and your family with a bountiful blessings, and I just prophesy all over your life." And I was reading this, and I was like, okay, that's a little heavy. But the fascinating thing is the person that actually wrote this message to me was somebody I used to go to school with. And when I tell you that this dude was in the streets, this dude was, you ever see that some people make a change for their life, and you're amazed at it, you? Good God, and I guess that says a lot because we're probably that to somebody else when they say, you're going to Sub30, you're saved? But when I saw that he made all of these comments about what God was doing in my life, I was amazed because I remember the type of dude that he was. This cat was just wild. And I seen that he, as I began to look at his posts a little bit more, I seen that he had this radical encounter with God that really changed his life. And so he was talking on my page. I got in contact with him, but some people you just can't see them beyond what you used to know about them. And I was doing my best to, but I saw him as what he used to be. And I immediately was transported back in a time machine where I remember when we were in high school. And when we were in high school, I remember we were in this one class in particular. He and I were super tight. We were never not together. Everything that we did in our 4 years in high school, it was me and him. And I remember this one time in high school, he was an instigator. I can put that out there. He was a little bit of an instigator. I was a lover, not a fighter. Y'all can probably tell by looking at me. And so I was kind of so he was an instigator. We was in this one class, and we were mixed together with a bunch of different upperclassmen, and we had some seniors in the classroom with us as well. And so I remember this one particular senior, for whatever reason, he just wasn't feeling me. He just wasn't feeling me at all. This dude from day one of class just had it out for me. He would often bump into me and all these other type of things. And I'm a little scrawny freshman, so I don't even know how to process it. I don't know how to handle it. So my friend would always be the one that would speak up and say stuff about him. Man, shut up. Man, look, it's just me and you, man. We're just one man by ourselves. We don't have anybody else with us, man. I don't want to go night. So I was telling him, man, let's chill, man. But he always was instigating. And so it finally came to an end where we were in class one day, and the guy just started really getting very vocal. We could tell it was about to get physical. And I was just I don't even understand what the guy's problem is. Now, I won't say that I was scared. I was a little concerned, but I wasn't scared. I ain't never scared. But I was I don't even understand what the dude's problem was. He was bigger than me and the whole deal. And so as class is going on, the guy's saying man, at the end of class, man, I'm tired of it. It's official. It's going down. And so my friend is talking trash, and then as the class begins to wind down, we got 30 minutes left, he bolts and leaves class. And I'm okay, that's a good look. I appreciate you, man. And so he left me in the class. He went, and then he came back. And when he came back, he started talking more and more trash to the guy. So now the guy's getting fired up. So he's yeah, you know what, man? When the class is over, my man right here gonna lay you out. Tell him, Keith. And I'm yo, man, shut up. So he was still talking all this trash. And so there's about 10 minutes left in the class. And I'm thinking to myself, this is really a surreal moment. This is about to go down. It's for real. And as the class wind down, I look out the window, and I see one of my brother's friends. They just kind of stick their head in the window, and they walk away. A little bit more time goes on, and I see another one of my brother's friends kind of stick his head in the window, and he walks away. Class is still continuing to wind down. We got about 3 minutes left before class is over, and I see another one of my friends stick his head in, and he walks away. And so the class is over, the bell rings, and I'm okay, it's about to go down. It's that surreal moment where the adrenaline starts building up inside you. It's about to get physical. So I'm immediately looking at any foreign objects. I'm thinking if there's anything I can even remotely ask the teacher. Hey, man, I got a problem with it. I was trying to find anything I could do, but nothing came to mind. So I'm okay, if it's going to go down, it's going to go down. The door opens up. Everybody in the class knows. They pour out of the classroom, and they're just standing there. So I'm gingerly taking my time, just counting my steps as I'm walking to the door, getting prepared. And then as I step outside of the threshold of the door, it was something happened, something completely snapped. The room got really, really dark. And it didn't get dark because I passed out, but it got dark because there was about 100 dudes in the hallway. And those 100 dudes were all of my brother's football and basketball friends and just random thugs on the street. I don't even know how they got on campus. They should have been in jail, but they somehow got on campus and were inside the hallway at that exact moment. So I look around and I see all these dudes around me, and the guy's looking around and he's like, what's all this? I promise you, you have to have seen this. It was like a John Woo movie. The crowd parts like the Red Sea as my brother begins to walk down the aisle. He was like a black Moses. I mean, I could have swore a fan was blowing because like his clothes were like blowing in the wind. A dove flew in front of him. And as he walked up to this guy, he said, "Hey man, you got a problem with my brother?" And it was at that moment that the guy realized, Pittman, oh my God, that's Reggie's little brother. And he just said, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I apologize. I did not know that was your brother. I am so sorry." My brother was still walking to him and he's backing up. So he steps on one guy's shoe, the guy pushes him, my brother literally grabs him and picks him up off of his feet. At this point, I'm looking around like, is anybody gonna help this poor dude out? Like, you know it's bad, like Pastor Clay was saying, when you have like a little compassion for your enemies. I'm like, is anybody this guy's gonna get killed. So I'm looking around for any teachers to get involved whatsoever. It's like the Wild West, they're closing their doors, putting up closed signs, they don't want nothing to do with it. Nope, I didn't see anything. They weren't even trying to check it out. And so I'm like, look, man, hey, man, he didn't know it was a mistake. Like, tell him that you won't do it again. Tell him that you won't. I won't do it no more. I won't do it no more, I promise. I'm like, see, it's all good. So my brother throws the guy down, and he looks at me, and he says, "What's the matter with you?" I'm like, I thought I shed one bully, but now I got another one. He said, what's the matter with you? What are you doing walking around in this school not letting people know who you are? What's the matter with you not letting people know what your name is and the weight that you carry in this school? What's the matter with you? He said, it's a good thing that you got a friend that was smart enough to go and get reinforcements. It's a good thing you got somebody in your life that recognized that you were being bullied by some things and he went and got reinforcements on your behalf. There's something to be said about when we got people in our lives that can look at when we're being bullied by the enemy and can run out and get reinforcements and tell us that we are establishing the things of God and we don't have to be bullied by the enemy. It's something to be said about having people in your lives that can look at when things aren't going so well, and when all hell breaks loose, they know how to go and get reinforcements to make sure they can re-identify who you are in the things of God. If you have your Bibles with you, I would love for you to turn to John, the 20th chapter. We're going to look at verses 24 through 28. And we're going to keep this relatively brief tonight. I want you guys to go out and get some food trucks, and so I want to pray for you guys before you eat so that you can endure what you do eat. But before we do eat, we got to spiritually eat it as well. We're going to look at John, but let me set the scene of what's happened. At this point, Jesus has already been crucified. He's already been resurrected. He's already appeared before Mary. He's already appeared before the two disciples on the road to Emmaus that Pastor Clay had spoke about last week. And then he appeared before 10 of his disciples. And when he appeared before his 10 disciples, he had spoke some things to them concerning their calling, but there was one person that wasn't there.